Today, I want to speak with you about one of the most vital skills you can develop in your life, the ability to think for yourself. In a world saturated with information, opinions, and influences from social media, the media, institutions, and even well-meaning friends and family, the challenge is not just to gather information, but to cultivate your own independent, critical thinking. Because if you don't think for yourself, someone else will do it for you. And when others or systems control your thoughts, they control your actions, your beliefs, and ultimately, your destiny. The power and danger of influence. Let's start by acknowledging a simple truth. Influence is everywhere. From advertisements that persuade you to buy products, to societal norms that shape your beliefs, to political rhetoric that sways opinions, we are constantly bombarded with messages telling us what to think, how to behave, and what to value. This isn't inherently bad. Influence can be positive when it encourages growth, kindness, and understanding. But it becomes dangerous when it suppresses your ability to question, analyze, and decide based on your own reasoning. Think about the times when you accepted ideas without question, simply because they were presented as the truth. How many of those ideas truly resonated with your inner values? Or were they just repeated narratives that you never challenged? The cost of blind acceptance. Blind acceptance can lead to conformity, stagnation, and even manipulation. History is filled with examples of societies and individuals who accepted authority without question, sometimes with tragic consequences. When people stop questioning, they stop growing, and they become pawns in larger systems that may not have their best interests at heart. You see, the greatest leaders, innovators, and change makers are those who dared to question the status quo. They looked at the world differently and refused to accept things simply because they were told to. The courage to think differently. Thinking for yourself requires courage. It's easier to follow the crowd, to accept popular narratives, or to conform to societal expectations. But real growth and freedom come when you challenge those narratives and discover your own truths. It begins with curiosity, asking questions like, why do I believe this? Who benefits from me accepting this idea? Is there evidence that supports or contradicts this belief? Does this idea align with my values and my purpose? When you start asking questions, you step into the realm of independent thinking. You become the author of your own beliefs rather than a passive recipient of others' ideas. Developing critical thinking skills. Thinking for yourself isn't about rejecting everything others say. It's about developing critical thinking skills. It involves evaluating information carefully, considering multiple perspectives, and using logic and reason to form well-informed opinions. Some ways to cultivate these skills. Question everything. Don't accept statements at face value. Dig deeper. Seek diverse perspectives. Expose yourself to different viewpoints to broaden your understanding. Analyze sources. Consider who is providing information, their motives, and credibility. Reflect regularly. Take time to think about your beliefs and whether they serve your growth. Practice mindfulness. Be aware of emotional reactions that might cloud your judgment. Remember, independence of thought is a skill that grows with practice. It's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. The role of education in self-discovery. Education isn't just about memorizing facts. It's about learning how to think. True education encourages questioning, exploration, and understanding. It empowers you to analyze and synthesize information rather than accept it blindly. Self-discovery also plays a crucial role. Know your core values, your passions, your purpose. When you understand who you are and what you stand for, it becomes easier to resist external pressures and think independently. The system and its limits. Many systems, be it political, social, or economic, rely on controlling narratives to maintain stability and power. While some systems serve society well, others manipulate and suppress free thought. Your responsibility is to be aware of these influences and to challenge them when necessary. Don't just accept the system's narrative because it's convenient or because everyone else does. Question authority. Seek the truth. Stand up for your beliefs when they are rooted in integrity. The power of courageous thought. Thinking independently often involves standing alone at times. It requires courage to voice dissent, to challenge popular opinion, and to follow your own convictions, even when they are unpopular. Remember, every great movement for change began with individuals daring to think differently. Think of the civil rights movement, scientific revolutions, and social reformers. All of them questioned the accepted norms and believed in their own reasoning. Practical steps to cultivate independent thought. Limit exposure to misinformation. Be selective about where you get your information. Engage in active listening. Truly listen to others without immediately judging or dismissing. Engage in dialogue. Discuss ideas openly and be willing to revise your views based on new evidence. Practice reflection. Spend time alone thinking about what you believe and why. Read widely. Explore different ideas, philosophies, and cultures. Trust your intuition. Learn to listen to your inner voice and instincts, guided by reason and compassion. The personal and societal benefits. When you learn to think for yourself, you gain freedom. Freedom from manipulation, fear, and conformity. You become a more authentic, empowered individual, capable of shaping your destiny. On a societal level, independent thinkers challenge unjust systems, inspire innovation, and foster progress. Democracy itself depends on citizens who think critically and participate actively. I want to remind you, you have the power to choose your thoughts. No one can think for you unless you allow it. Your mind is your greatest asset. Protect it, nurture it, and sharpen it. Never accept anything blindly. Question everything. Be curious, be courageous, and most importantly, believe in your own capacity to see through illusions and discover your own truths. Because when you think for yourself, you not only transform your own life, but you also become a catalyst for positive change in the world.